Oh man, another day. All right, let's go now. Fuck it. All right, welcome to Sober Saturday. This is an open discussion, 1 hour, no break. Meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous. I'm Rob, and I'm an alcoholic. Hey, Rob. All right, let's have a moment of silence. Here's what we are all about. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength, and hope with each other that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for a membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contribution. AA is not in line with any set denomination, politics, organization, or institution. Does not engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and to help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. Anybody new coming back? All right, let's introduce ourselves. Rob, I'm an alcoholic.
Steve, alcoholic.
Hey, Steve.
Alcoholic.
Marty.
Richard, alcoholic.
All right. All right, Ken.
What's up there?
Thanks for making the coffee.
All right, okay, all right, this is what we do. All right, here I go. Rob, alcoholic. So basically, 849 days today. Tomorrow will be my 850th. Thank you. I've been at a workshop recently. It's a training program. And I got my lawyer, thank God, informed me about this reentry program. So I entered that, and from like Monday through Friday, 9 to 2. That's where I'm going to be. So if I'm not here, that's why I haven't been here. I just, as you guys already know, I have a fucking criminal record, so it was like, all right, I need an organization, need to go through a reentry program to at least, you know what I mean, stand a chance in this job market field. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm really grateful for it, though. I'm meeting a lot of interesting people. You know, but the principle is still the principle. I don't drink no matter what. You know, I do miss coming here, though. I really do. But obviously, you know, I got to work. I need money in my pocket, but still, I'll never forget where you know, where it all started. And it started here, you know, in these halls, where it's like, you know, I've came across so many wonderful people and learning about like the art of just listening, you know. I've had to just shut up and just listen. And, you know, and while I was listening, I was learning. I was learning, like, basically that this thing right here, you cannot do this by yourself. I am so blessed to have the greatest foundation ever. So, you know, it's easy for me to, you know, go to 3 meetings a day. It's easy for me to really just zero in and focus on my recovery because of my foundation. So what you see here is like, yeah, I put in the work, but the foundation around me has allowed me to put in the work. So the art of humility is what I've learned here, you know, and knowing that it's just like at any time, at any day, at any moment you can fail. Keeps me grounded. I really lost a lot of people in my life, you know, to addictions, not just to alcohol, but to other things as well. But it's just that, you know, I just look at it like, you know, each person that I've come across, whether they fail, whether they succeed, it's an opportunity to learn, you know? And I wouldn't be where I'm at today if it wasn't for my foundation. You know, I still do have my days where it's like, yeah, they're more challenging than others, but when I look at my life and all the mistakes I've made, all the choices, the bad choices that I made, and I'm like, well, I may not be where I want to be, but I'm not where I used to be, you know? And yeah, it's hard. It's a pain in the ass. You know, it's a day-to-day grind. You know, not drinking has become more of a job than any other job I've had in my life. But it's a job that I know that if I get fired, the chances of me coming back and being rehired as metaphor to life, is really slim to now. I don't really think, well, okay, I'm never gonna drink again. No, it's just I just don't drink today, and that's it. I'm just really zeroing on the moment. Not thinking too far ahead, and definitely not dwelling in the past. And just being able to understand that you don't have to get it, but just keep coming. And that's what I got. That's why I continue to keep coming when I can. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, I can never, ever, ever graduate from this. And I don't look at myself as like somebody that has arrived anywhere. Because once you do that, you start to get cocky. Once you get cocky, you will become lackadaisical, and then next thing you know, you're repeating the cycle again. So I just, I just try to just stay clear of what they call stinking thinking. You can't. Usually, your first start as an alcoholic is 99% bad. So don't go with your first start. Pick up your phone. And I just, oh my God, my sponsor is just so awesome. I don't know, man. It's just like I wouldn't know where I'd be if it wasn't for my foundation. I can't stress that enough. 849 days. I'm just looking forward to 850, just one day at a time. And with that being said, we can open up the floor to anything. We could talk about gratitude. We could talk about whatever. I thank every one of the last of y'all in this room, and have a safe and sober day. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Collections? Oh.
We don't get it.
Well, you do the collection stuff first, right? Okay, cool. All right.
I was waiting for Joe to go.
There you go.
Thank you,
Oh,
sir.
no problem.
Big Joe. That's it. Thank you, sir. Sir.
I'll start. My name is Ken, I'm an alcoholic.
Hey, Ken.
Yeah, it's really good to hear, Rob, it sounds to me like that old attitude of gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
They say. And it's keeping it very basic, I like that. If I try to figure it out, it's not good for me. Somebody once said to me, Ken, listen to these words, it's unfigureoutable. And that's not even the King's English.
Right.
He's right. You can't figure it
Right.
out. But if you keep doing it, as you said, you keep coming, do the next right thing, ask for help. And for me, I recognize it as a spiritual direction. I just keep reminding myself that. No matter how bad financially something is, I can't take back my will. It's no good. Doesn't work for me yet.
Right. Right.
Doesn't work. Thanks.
Well, thank you, Ken. Appreciate it. Hey, Steve.
I'm a little pissed off today. I'm missing bike week down in Florida, Daytona. I've been going through it for 38 years, and I missed it this year. I don't know, it's things I used to enjoy, I enjoy a lot. But, we never really drank on motorcycles, but we'd stop and have one pop everywhere. And when I say pop, I mean we have beer. But then we'd go to the next place, we'd have poker runs, where we went to one bar after another bar after another bar. And by the end of the ride, you were, either gonna park your bike or somebody brings a trailer. Because most of us shouldn't have been driving. But, the things that I used to do while I was drinking and everything else was always around the bar. And, I kind of miss that. But I don't know why, you know, I hated myself the next morning. You know, my sponsor told me, he says, you know, think about how you felt the next morning after you had a good night or whatever. And, you know, you always think that shame, that guilt, the remorse, all those feelings all at once, and they're coming over on top of it. You know, I don't miss those. I don't miss those days. I remember toward the end of my drinking, it was continuous drinking. And it was never fun. You know, it was just, I had to do it to function. And then I'd only functioned so long. I never got drunk anymore. I couldn't get that first, you know, you're chasing that high the whole time. And then I started doing cocaine on top of the drinking. And, you know, it was so I could keep up the drinking and, you know, still motivate. But, you know, I started, you know, I've had a few sponsees, and they talk about their drinking and then their drug use. You know, it's a stepping stone to other things. And now you see all these people strung out of meth and heroin and everything else. I mean, they took that next step. I'm glad I didn't have that next step. You know, but I had the gift of desperation. When I say desperation was I was gonna die. You know, in that moment where you find out your body can't take it no more. You know, my liver was shot, I was yellow, I was jaundiced. I had hepatitis C, hepatitis B, my immune system was shot, my liver wasn't functioning, my kidneys weren't functioning right. And I went into a brain infection. And I remember I couldn't walk, I couldn't talk, I couldn't do anything. I'd stand in the doorway and just stare. And my wife would grab me and everything else and put me down. She finally took me to the hospital and they said, you know, your liver's shot. And all the other organs are starting to fight. Well, I had to get sober at that time because I had to be sober for 2 years before they even get me a list. And so I struggled. I used a walker, everything. But I went to 3 meetings a day, you know, and I drove, I did everything I could. And I was still using powder, coke. I was shooting it up and everything else just to get through my AA meetings and everything. And 2 wrongs don't make a right. But I finally got that second year, I got 1 year, and then I went back out again. So I had to start over. Well, I didn't tell the liver people that I went back out. You know. I had to lie about that so I could stand the list. And, you know, just everybody in my meeting knew that I went out. So it was almost 3 years before I finally got delivered. And then, you know, you had to learn how to do everything over again. And your body has to function. You got all kinds of drugs you got to take. Anti this, anti that. You know, I have catch a cold. It would be a 6 month cold. If I got the flu, I was pretty much close to death. You know, I had no immune system whatsoever because they put you on these immunotherapies where they kill all your antibodies and everything else, your red and white cells and all that. So they put me on interferons and I'd shoot myself in the stomach like once a day, just so I could be ready to take a new liver. They gave me the call at 4:30 in the morning and told me that they had delivered for me, somebody had a car accident. And it was up in Jacksonville, I was down in Daytona Beach area. And, I got in the car at 4 o'clock in the morning, drove all the way to Jacksonville to the Mayo Clinic. And, within 5 hours, I had a new liver. And, you know, it took me 3 weeks, I had to stay up there for 3 weeks and, pretty much learned how to walk and do all that stuff again. And plus the staples were all the way across and they split me up like that. Still got all these scars and everything. But, you know, I was praying to God pretty regularly. I didn't know if I was gonna make it or not. But I made it, you know, and, I have to remember that all the time. Every time I get these ideas in my head, you know, what if I want to do this? You know, that'd be an opportune time to, you know, my buddies are all, they're out there, but, you know, they really party. And to get back into that mix would be wrong, you know, it would defeat my purposes. But, you know, I'm happy with what I got. You know, I go through that 10th step, it's the 10th month, so you kind of go through your 10th step, and you realize what you got, and you make amends for things you've done in the past and everything else. And, you know, my wife went through Al-Anon for 2 years while I was getting sober. I didn't even know about it. And, this morning I was telling her, I said, man, I'd love to go to everything else. And, you know, we'll get a plane ticket, go down there and just see everybody. And, you know, I had to stop myself and tell my wife, God, how did you stick with me? Why did you stick with me, you know? And she helped me out through everything. I had some doctor's appointments yesterday, and she wanted to go with me. She's retired now. And, she just recently retired. And, she wanted to go with me. She wanted to, you know, I went to my blood doctor, you know, endocrinologist or whatever it is. Anyways, you know, I got type 2 diabetes. And it was starting to mess with, you know, everything. My feet, my hands, you know, getting that feelings in your feet. I can't feel a needle in my foot, you know, or wherever, neurology. But, she, put me on new medicines and everything else. These medicines, you know, I hate taking medicine. But, you know, I gotta do this the rest of my life. And it's kind of a bitch. Plus it's expensive. You know. But, you know, I started this morning and I went through and I say all the things I do have. I'm positive. I got a good group. I got good people around me. I can still help somebody else get over this alcoholism. And, you know, I've got a couple of sponsees now, and they're doing really good. Because usually they don't get past the 4th step. They start dragging their feet. They don't want to make a list. They don't want to do the work. And I got one that just went to the 7th step, and I'm really proud of him, and it makes me feel good. It feels good to help somebody else. And, you know, that's the whole thing in a nutshell. You know, you gotta give back. And sometimes it's not easy to stick your hands up. You know, sometimes I've probably had 20, 30 guys that I've tried putting into this program. And when they go back out and they start doing it again, you know, it breaks your heart. But you can't be defeated. You gotta keep on coming back, keep on doing it. And, you know, It's rough sometimes, but that's life, you know? You get good and bad days. You know? It's a good day today. I thank God every day. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Hey, hey, Joe.
I'm just thinking, the doctor called me at the house last week, in the afternoon, at 5 o'clock. My potassium is too high. I'm like, what? I said, how do you feel? I said, I'm feeling fine. Well, I wasn't perfect. My stomach fucked up everywhere. So you need to come down to the emergency. I said, emergency? Shit, I'm not going. When you get down to the primary care, it's still open. They don't close till 6 o'clock. So I said, well, I think about it. My wife heard that. You get your ass out of here. So anyway, I went down to the primary care, but I didn't want to go to the emergency. I got down there, they checked things out and they, oh, you got to go to the emergency. Now I got to go. I said, well, everybody keeps saying emergency, there's something got to be wrong with it. I said, you got to be up there. So I go down there, figuring I'd be down there, they don't do an emergency, I figured I'd be in there 2 or 3 hours. I got down there, that 2 or 3 hours, that came to 2 days in the hospital. And they found out I couldn't eat potatoes, bananas. I just bought bananas and cannabis, can't eat that either. I just bought cannabis was on sale, so I bought 2 of them. At the Philadelphia. And so when they came, I didn't know at the time that I couldn't eat bananas when I was in there. And they gave me, I bought my dinner. And they had a banana sitting on the side of the plate. And you might, that hospital food, you had to force that shit down because they had some chicken soup. They must have stuck the chicken in the water and poured it back out. Gave it a little flavor. At this time, I couldn't eat this stuff, but I had to eat something. They had string beans. Oh God, they were just about raw. So when the water got hot, they must have poured it out. So I had to pour that crap down. I got this banana sitting, then the doctors came in. I was saving the banana for later. The doctor seen the banana, he took my banana. I said, what's up with this? Oh, you can't eat that. I said, I'm in the hospital, they gave it to me. And plus, I can't eat potatoes either. No wonder I couldn't get my potassium down. They gave me potatoes every morning, potatoes and eggs. And it was tough trying to get it down. So the food I was eating in the hospital. And they finally got it down. They got out of there in about 2.5 days. And I got a list that I can't eat all that crap that I like. Oh man, that's gonna starve me to death. I'm losing weight now, trying to keep this potassium down. And so I can't go to the Colonel and eat that fried chicken. Imagine this thing. The best part of the chicken you can eat is just the chicken wing. What the hell is this? You know part of the chicken? Yeah, it's some crazy shit. I'm trying to do what I can do to keep it down. Now, if I'd been drinking, this shit would have never happened. I know I would have went down to the emergency. Walked out, I was half dead, then they took me to the ambulance. That's the only way you got me into the emergency. So, thank God I was sober and wasn't drinking. And thanks to AA that keep me sober because That was one hell of a drinker, Dave. Drinking that liquor, vodka straight, with a lemon on the side. I used to drink it with grapefruit juice, then I went to drinking it straight, with a lemon. Going all the way by the lemons in the car, half pint bottle under the seat. I used to call myself having a lot of fun, but how can you have fun? You're waking up with all those damn hangovers. And when you used to kick my ass. No, I don't have hangovers anymore. Thank God. Yeah. I didn't like any whoop a damn. They forced me in here, but I got enough tickets to do this, so you gotta know. That's fine. I'm glad they forced me in here, I would never walk in here. And, well, I'm feeling better now, even my stomach's not too bad, but, stopped drinking about 8 or 9 years now, so I think I can make it. Thank you, my name is Joe, I'm still an alcoholic.
Mm-hmm. Makes you feel, appreciate you. Always.
Richard, alcohol.
Hey, Richard.
Richard?
Congratulations, Rob.
Yeah, thank you.
Keep doing it, man. Doing a good job. Interesting morning I had. You know, we say we give back in this program. You know, for me personally, you know, I don't believe that I have enough sobriety to be a sponsor. But sometimes, you know, you're called upon to act as someone like a sponsor. So that's kind of what rolled on my table this morning. It was a guy that I knew I had just met recently and got into the program. And, you know, I could see myself in him. And he was in 2 weeks, and he said, you know, I met him at a couple of meetings, and he said, man, this is great, you know, I feel good, I get my hangovers in the morning, and, you know, he was pink clouding it, you know, like we all did when we first came in. It's like the first, you know, I had mine a detox, and it was structured sobriety, you know. So that to me was like the way I did it. But he didn't do any of that, and I told him, be careful, man, be careful, because this too shall pass. Sometimes it's 2 weeks, sometimes it's 2 months. Varies from person to person. But he called me this morning, and I picked up the phone. It was like 6:30, and I looked at the phone, and I didn't recognize the number, but I said, I'll take it. And it was this guy. Said that he relapsed. I said, you know, how did it happen? And it was like he went up to his buddy's house in rural Massachusetts, and, you know, one thing led to another, and, you know, I kind of only getting advice, you know, how I would act, and what I did in my first couple of months was I did not enter a pub. I did not hang around with people that I used to hang around with. Get that temptation away. You don't need to be in those places. I didn't go in and buy, if I bought a pack of cigarettes, it was either 7-Eleven or nothing, you know. I didn't even go into a package store, so, you know, like I kind of said to him, like, I mean, you know, when you were driving up there, it was kind of in your head before you took, you know, your relapse has already happened. You just didn't take the alcohol yet. And I kind of said to him, you know, how do you feel this morning? He said, Jesus Christ, I feel like fucking shit.
Mm-hmm.
The shame, the embarrassment. I let my daughter down. He was supposed to pick up his daughter. And I'm like, just that couple of hours of relief in drinking. I mean, it's not going away. Whatever shit you had yesterday, you're gonna have the same shit, and if you drink over it, it's like with me, I have a shitty fucking dryer. You know, when you're in a job, you know, it just, I mean, just certain things happen, and it just, you know, it wasn't a good day. And it was a perfect, you know, all the clouds or moons would be aligning in a different world when I was drinking. That was a good drinking excuse for me, you know what I mean? But, you know, not that it was a struggle, but it was just, you know, one of those days that, you know, you just, you know, let it be over, let it be over. And I know myself in my thinking that, you know, don't act on it. You know, take the emotion, go through it, because there will be more like that. And you wake up in the morning and you're like, you know, it's always different in the morning. You know, the day is gone, that's in the past. Carry on, go forward, you know. So I just hope for this guy, you know, the only advice I get him is what I went through myself. And that helped him. And in actuality, it was the reverse, as you said, Steve, you know, in talking to another alcoholic that's struggling, kind of brings it back into the forefront of my sobriety where I was at my start. And it's pretty difficult, but you have to make, you know, extreme choices, you know, life as you know it before you were drinking, the friends, the places, the things you did, all of that has to change. If you want to give yourself a decent chance of success. So, you know, that's all I got. So I wish this guy well, hope he gets it like we all did.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks. That was good.
I am Joe, alcohol.
Hey, Joe.
Sorry I missed the beginning, Bob.
It's all right.
I was at my Teamster meeting, and kind of what Richard was saying, that guy I know was, called me yesterday, he asked me to go to the Teamster meeting. And I got a text from his wife this morning. He's in the Faulkner Hospital. He got drunk last night, falling down drunk. He's back in the Faulkner. He got out Thursday out of the Faulkner, and he let himself out against medical advice before he could get a treatment program. Now he's back in the Faulkner, and I feel bad for her because she's been very supportive of him. I think maybe too supportive, and but that just shows how dangerous the disease is. And then another kid from the team says I haven't seen him I used to see him around different meetings. I haven't seen him for a bit. And actually I talked to the Larry who was in charge. I go, I haven't seen this guy in about a month. He shows up today. He went out on a bend. His problem's the drugs. You know, he goes, I solved alcohol. I use fentanyl now. You know, he says, he went to a bar to score fentanyl. He says, I ordered a Bud Light because I had to wait for my dealer. He goes, I only took a sip out of the beer, but he's back. He's been back several times, but hopefully this time he can get it. You know what? And seeing these two guys this morning kind of really helped me. I feel so bad for them. I feel bad for their families. But in a way, it helped me because this alcoholism is one of the worst diseases you can get. You know, and I was thinking my shower this morning. My wife died of a deadly disease, a lung disease that there was actually no cure for it. She tried the lung transplant and that didn't take. There was no cure, but there is a cure for alcoholism. You know, and the main thing, the first thing you gotta do, don't fucking drink. Don't fucking drink. And then you listen to what's said to me. It's said to us, not to me. It's a we program. To us. Listen to what's said in here. You know, if we listen to what we do, and we gotta change our habits. Like Richard said, we don't go to a fucking liquor store to buy our cigarettes. We don't go to the bar rooms to get a meal. We stay in a herd, this herd of sober people, because when you're in this herd of sober people, you're not going to stray away from that herd. You stay with the sober people. You'll learn a better way of life, you know? Life isn't going to be perfect even because we're sober, but it's going to be a hell of a lot better sober. You know, there was a guy at the meeting to say, he had a tough year. He's in the class of 2023 with us. He lost his father, his godfather, and his sponsor, all within a year. You know? And that's what I told him. I go, Danny, they're still dead. And you were able you didn't need a drink to pick up for them. And that's something that I'll never forget the day my father passed away. I was just a little over a month sober. Just a little over a month sober, and I was still banged up. Angie came up to me, gave me a hug. She says, Joe, I'm sorry about your father. This is what she said to me. She goes, Joe, I knew both your mother and your father. And she did, because John L. worked with my father, so she knew my parents. She goes, they're watching you from heaven right now. Let them be proud of you. Stay sober. And that stuck in my heart when she said that to me, because that really meant something to me, and something that I knew I had to do. You know, it's not easy sometimes to say so. Sometimes little things can bother me. I can say, fuck it, I'll just have a drink and it'll be over with. But what's that? A couple hours relief. But I never solved the problem. At least in here, you follow the steps and everything, you can learn how to solve problems, you know? Just you know, there's a lot of problems out there, but we can get through it. I was driving up here on 138. The guy cut in front of me, gave me the finger. I gave him the finger back, and I felt bad for that. I even felt bad for that. But because of this problem, I'm not going to have a resentment. I forgot about that. If that still bothers me tonight, you people taught me how to forget that problem. Because I don't need resentments. You know, because resentments cause a lot of these relapses. I didn't know about that 2.5 years ago. I was taught that here. You know, and this is an education, you know, and we gotta listen. And I don't listen just with my ears. I don't listen to what's said. You know, actually I don't even hear background noises anymore. I just listen to what's being said. And I let it sink into my brain. And then it goes right into my soul. And that's the soul is the spirituality part of us. The soul, you know, the body. I know my liver, my pancreas, the shakes, those were physical parts. You know, my brain was all fucked up because it was telling me to keep drinking, even though the physical part was.
Right, sure.
But I think once you get that spirituality, your higher power, whatever it is, it goes into your soul. And that's what I think, with the combination of all three, the physical, mental, and the spiritual, we can get over alcoholism. Because I know this is a killer disease. And the more sober I get, the more I realize how dangerous this disease is. It is a disease that can kill us. You know, it just doesn't kill us physically, it kills us mentally and spiritually. And we're so blessed to have this program. And I want to thank everyone, because everyone in this hall has helped me so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate you, man. Always. Class of 2023. Always a pleasure hearing from you, Joe.
My name is Kevin, and I'm
Hey, Kevin.
Hey, Sorry I was late, I didn't hear you.
It's no problem.
Congratulations on whatever you're.
Yeah, 8:49.
What are you
Just another day. Just another day. Just another
Another day
day.
is good.
24 hours, yeah.
I'm sober another day, thank God. I didn't wake up in a wet bed this morning. I didn't drive in blackout last night. I went to a meeting last night, I was all upset over something. I'm still kind of upset over it, but I'm getting there. You know, I can share with people what's going on inside me. It might be a stupid little thing to them, it might be a lot to me. You know, I heard it here this morning, like, you know, I can kind of lose myself in resentments and stuff like that. I get drunk and stuff like that. That's what came to my mind this morning. I shared something last night with a guy, a member of my group, and Bob, he's a lawyer. And he said, "Call your sponsor tomorrow morning." It was good advice. Then I spoke with another guy who's in the trades and really understood what I was talking about. He got it, like, you know, maybe more than Bob. But Bob got what I was upset about too, you know. Like, I'm in the trades, and I got a guy working for me. He's the best guy I've ever had. He's got his license, he's got a new van, and he told me he was advertising in Angie's list to get extra work on Saturdays, or maybe when I'm not busy, he can get work. But yesterday he came into his wife's car, and I said, "What happened to the van?"
Right.
He said, "I'm getting signs put on it." So I didn't say anything. So then, of course, I started churning during the day, you know what I mean? Because I'm afraid to say something because it's going to come out the wrong way. And then I start justifying inside my head, you know, what's the big deal anyway? But at the same time, it bothers me, you know. He's going to have his own van outside my job with his name on it. And I kind of feel like, you know, I'm after getting a slap in the face, you know. At the same time, he's a really good guy. And if I lose him, I'll be by myself, exhausted on jobs, looking bad, and everybody that I work for likes this guy, and I like him. But there are certain little things in the personalities too, when you're with someone, they can irk you. And this really caught me by surprise, and sometimes when things catch me by surprise, they kind of shock me, and there's a reason that I don't do well with that kind of stuff. It goes back into my childhood. And so, I called my sponsor this morning, and he agreed with me that this is kind of like a kick in the face. The guy's going to show up with his own van, his own professional name, his own license number. So I called the guy. I was on fire. He's very good at talking. He's relaxed, and I'm emotional at the other end of the line. He said to me, you know, "Well, Kevin, I understand it, but I've always told you that I wanted to kind of build my business, and I do side jobs, and I work on Saturdays, and if you're not busy, I can take a day off and do something, and I want to make professional." And I couldn't argue with it. You know, just like, sometimes actions speak louder than words. So I can't talk away intellectually this whole thing about him showing up with his own van. He can intellectualize it, I can intellectualize it, but deep down, I believe it's still a kick in the face. It's not like the right thing to do. I should have been approached. I should have been asked if I would be okay with it. That would have been the right thing to do. But, you know, this whole thing about, you know, forgiveness is easier to ask for than for permission. That's what it's all about, you know? I mean, if I get injured, if I'm out of work, the people I work for will ask him to do their job. If I lose him, if I told him I don't want you working for me anymore, and they offered me 6 jobs and I can only do 3, they'd say to me, "Can we use him?" I'm going to have to say yes. I'm not going to look like an idiot, but this is the stuff that bothers me, really, like, you know. But asking for help is hard, because like when I ask for help, I become vulnerable. I think people are like, you know, laughing that Kevin's upset about this stupid stuff, and I'm really fucking upset about it. I came across a traffic accident this morning, and like I was afraid the cop or the fire department would say something to me. I was going to roll down the window and tell them to go fuck themselves. I get so fired up, man. I become like, you know, agey. You know what I mean? And I'm not a fighter, but I started thinking about my anger this morning. Like, you know, I'm gonna do a little bit of inventory and take a look at why I get so like crazy upset inside me over stuff. And maybe it's just a human thing. You know what I mean? Maybe it's just because I'm an alcoholic and I can't wash these things away with alcohol, and I don't want to, you know? But I became a grandfather like 5 weeks ago, you know what I mean? It's like, I got stuff going on in my fucking family that fucking bothers me too, you know what I mean? I can't even say it. I can't even say it at a fucking meeting. What's going on? It's so like raw, you know what I mean? And I got a lot of good things in my life, man, but I got like too much fucking responsibility sometimes. I'm balancing all these fucking things. I gotta try to simplify my life, man. And it's so sorry I'm upset, but I need a bit of fucking relief. It's better cry and beat the shit out of someone and get arrested, you know what I mean? I mean, when I woke up in the middle of the night, I told myself, I'm gonna call this guy. He said I'm not coming to work anymore with a fucking van, you know, and he put his signs on it. I woke up this morning and I said, you know what, all it comes down to, I need him. I need him in my life. I can't run my business without him. Start fresh again with people who don't know what the fuck they're doing. It's awful trying to train people. I went through like 4 or 5 guys before I called him. And God has always been good to me. Things come to me without my own effort. But thank you, Leo. Things come to me without my own effort from God, you know, different things, good things. And my will is always like trying to push. And then, you know, I gotta try to practice, you know, step 3 and a lot of steps, you know what I mean? I was on step 7 at my step meeting the other night. It's a really powerful step. I wonder, do I really ask my higher power to remove my shortcomings, you know what I mean? Become a bit more humble and all this stuff. Anyway, thanks for listening.
Thanks. Yeah, it's gonna be all right, man. Thank you for that. Yeah.
Hi, Richard.
Hey, Richard.
I identify with so many things that were said, especially in the last week there. I have a lot of stresses in my life right now. I was left hanging by my employer, my second employer, for 9 days, and then he fired me. Left hanging with on a decision, and you know, I ran into one of my clients today, and I told her what had happened. She's like, I can't believe that we've never had an issue with you, you know, and that's the people I deal with. And I find out some guy I've never met, and I didn't tell anybody about it. I didn't tell anybody. I mentioned I was waiting for a phone call last week, and then yesterday I hinted at it. I might have come up and said it, I don't remember. But I told my wife, I told her a half truth. My company did get filed, so I told her that they just asked me out because I'm a per diem guy. It's my second job, you know. But it was an extra $2,500 a month I put in my pocket working part-time. You know, it's not a little bit of money, that was tuition. Yeah. That's 30 grand. So, you know, but I've been trying to set up this other business. You know, and I read step 10 while we were sitting here, because Steve mentioned it, it's the 10th month, and I read the whole step, and it's step 10 to keep us in check. So that we're doing the other 9 steps, it literally says, we don't do this once, do this daily. So what I did do, kinda what Kevin mentioned, I just sent my sponsor, who I haven't talked to in a minute, like a while. And I just said, I'm just checking in. I didn't tell him what was going on. I didn't drop everything on because I haven't talked to him in a while. And I didn't want to, I was like, I'm just checking in. And like, he must have read one of my old texts because he didn't respond to it. And he's like, congratulations. I sent him that text in August.
Right.
Because I done 19 years in August. You know, I'm working on year 20 now. And, you know, I was listening to the other ones talking. I've never been a good sponsor. I don't think I did the steps, went through steps on my own. I did them out of a Hazelton book, which isn't even AA related, but Deputy Jack, Smiling Jack, Happy Jack, he gave me the book and he said, He said, use this, do this. And I took 2 weeks and I wrote out, 37 pages of, for my page in there. I don't even know what that thing is. I hope no one ever finds that. Because the first time I wrote step 4, and I went down to Arch Street, the guy said, throw that in the trash. I did a flip step with Richard Flaherty, as a matter of fact. He said, throw that in the trash, we'll just talk. Because the other thing is, I was watching Locked Up Raw today, because I get up early, and the guy was angry about losing his father, and all these poor kids, they're young. The guy's 39, and he's got a 20-year-old kid, they're both in the same prison, and then the other guy lost his father at 39. And it was both the same story. The father wasn't in their life. The father might have been around, but it wasn't in their life. And it's the same, same basic thing I grew up with. My father had 6 kids, but he didn't have time for us. He was out there boozing and doing his thing. But getting back to what I originally said, I can identify with the stressors because I didn't ask for help. But you know what I did do is I didn't go out and get hammered because I got let go, separated, what they call it. I got separated from my company yesterday. I've been trying to build this business. That's something I've been wanting to do for a long time. Not the real estate. I got 2 years left of my license in the real estate. I'm going to let that run out because I just had 10 years is enough. 10 years of doing that is enough. And what it did is it forced me to make some phone calls and some emails. I set myself up. I'm taking the exam a week from yesterday. I'm going up. My signage is on its way. I have some signage. I've got the electronics. I just have to have them installed. And it's something I've wanted to do forever. I just have to wait for my kids to get old enough to take care of themselves. And the 10-year-old wants to walk to and from school. I let him walk home. I don't let him walk to school. It's too busy. But next Friday, he's probably going to walk himself to school because I'm going to be in Albany, New York. And all of this that I'm talking about it's all things that I've learned to, I don't know, what's the word we use, accommodate, accept, adapt, right? Like all these negatives that were going on. Well, I got 2 positives. I also got a letter of something I forgot was going on. I've got a payday coming. Of some good money. It's held up in appeals right now, but I'm gonna, it just came in the same day as I let go. And my my oldest kid got his first job yesterday.
Nice.
So there were 3 positives to 1 negative. And they say things happen in 3s. So, I kept myself busy. I cleaned the bathroom. I fixed my kid's bike. I'm going to take it in for a tune-up today. Like somebody else was talking about that yesterday. Sometimes we just got to keep ourselves busy. Like I'm going to go home and re-clean that bathroom.
Right.
Because I don't want to clean the kitchen.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm going to hope that she sees me in the bathroom. She does the kitchen. I'll do my laundry, and I got 3 o'clock. I'll sit down and watch football for the rest of the day, hopefully. And then we're going out to eat because it was her birthday the other day. And that's the biggest thing. I hate doing that. I hate going out to eat. But sometimes you just gotta. I'm complaining about going out to eat, right? I don't want to spend the money, honestly. But the thing is, I have to reach out because this separation. It's a hit financially. I have to reach out and access money that I have that I don't want to touch. It's in the market, but thank God I haven't because I haven't been out there. The only splurge I made in 20 years, I bought myself a car. It's the only splurge. I mean, I bought a house and all that stuff, but that's not a splurge because I haven't been out smoking and drinking and drugging for 20 freaking years. I got some money in the bank, and I've had periods of unemployment in that time because I've tried a few different things. I've never found what I wanted to do, right? I'm 54 years old. I've never found what I wanted to do, and I have a feeling my 18-year-old's the same way, and I'm trying to show him. I went and moved back to college for the last 2 years. I've been back in school. I don't know what I wanna do, but now I do know what I wanna do, and finally kids are old enough. So, getting fired is a blessing in disguise for me. I'm figuring out there's no coincidences in sobriety. Things happen, and you know, instead of just taking it to the bar room and getting a posse rally behind you to go lynch this guy that separated me, I sent an email and the woman was like, here, ask for this. And I sent it to the Albany Truck Drivers Association, and she answered me immediately. And she's like, here's a list, and here's the study guide. And that's because I looked and I didn't give up.
Right.
So, anyway, oh shit, I didn't need to talk to that. Yeah, I made smart decisions. I went to the gym today and I've been there for 6 days in a row and I decided not to work out. I just got on the massage chair. And I even said it today, I'm working out with a trainer in the morning, 8 o'clock, and I was like, I can't go 7 days in a row. Sometimes you just gotta listen to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes more isn't more. Sometimes more is not good.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I said, when am I gonna do that? And I talked to Joe, and I said, Joe, maybe I'll see you tomorrow, so I kinda had to be here, because I said, Joe, I might be here. This is my 4th meeting this week, and because I've got the time. What are you gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
Go to a meeting, ask for help, because I don't have an easy time doing that, and you heard it right in front of us early, 5 minutes ago. Sometimes asking for help is the hardest thing, even when we got time. And, you know, I'm glad that we're here, and everybody can get a little raw, and it's a small crowd, so everybody can say what they need to say. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. All right, we got Chips.
Well, they took trips.
Yeah.
Unless you want to, but you haven't made job yet. I'm getting sick of hearing myself.
All right, Richard, alcoholic.
Hey, Richard.
Constant Vigilance Group has a tradition of handing out chips for varying lengths of sobriety, and in this group, we start with 24 hours to 29 days.
What do you
You keep coming.
We got a month.
What do you
Keep coming.
We've got 2 months.
What do you
Keep coming.
We got 3 months. It's a cupcake.
What do you do?
Keep coming.
6 months, a half a cake.
What do you do?
We keep coming.
9 months, it's a pepperoni pizza.
Keep coming.
I can get a pepperoni pizza.
We should have. Anybody with a year or more, as Joe says, not to brag, but just to show that the fellowship works. And if you haven't had a drink and you got yourself handed in, give yourself and your higher power.
Yeah. All right. Daily reflection.
No, we don't have to
do that. Yeah, that's right. All right. There's no burning desires. Okay, let's end with the Lord's Prayer here. Eminently is the spiritual foundation of our traditions, ever reminding us to place principle before personalities. I have the right to say I'm an alcoholic in the 10 minutes, but I do not have the right to say I'm sorry you here. All right, here we go. Now who keeps us sober? Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be your name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us our day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, and we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, power, and the glory forever. Keep coming. Oh, yeah. Oh.